North Yorkshire, the largest county in England and Wales. From seaside resorts like Scarborough to the historic city of York.
It just offers you everything that policing could offer you. You work the cities, you work the rural areas.
6,000 miles of some of Britain's most scenic and most unforgiving roads.
We've got 3 casualties out of the vehicle that's there in front of us.
The traffic cops here deal with among the highest number of serious collisions per person than anywhere in the UK.
Roundabout, wrong way, wrong way.
Tonight,
Cyclist, seeing him.
it's safety first as the cops pursue disqualified drivers.
Ow! Don't know me! Ow!
Career criminals. And those desperate to evade the law.
She's failed to stop.
Yeah.
She's continued on, and we found it like this.
And any police pursuit is inherently dangerous. A decision either way could mean the difference between someone's life or death.
Welcome to North Yorkshire, a vast area stretching the traffic cops to the limit. It's 6:15 AM, 15 miles west of the city of York. Traffic Constable Lee Cobb is nearing the end of his night shift when an urgent shout comes through from the control room.
Excellent, Oscar Romeo 41.
2 burglars have been disturbed inside a house at a village near York. Threatened the owner of the house to get the car keys to steal the car.
The thieves have stolen a blue Peugeot 106 and they're on the move. Lee suspects they're making a break for North Yorkshire's border.
The vast majority of our thefts, burglaries, are all taking place by people who cross over from the bigger areas, you know, like Durham or Leeds, Doncaster. They'll travel towards to go and steal our nice cars and take them back there.
Lee heads along the A64 dual carriageway to see if he can spot the Peugeot.
Travelling down the A64, it's passed me in the opposite direction, turned off into Tadcaster itself. So we asked one of the firearms lads to peel off and travel through Tadcaster and try and pick it up.
Lee's sighting of the stolen car gives other units a chance to spot the suspects. Within 2 minutes, the cops have caught up with it.
The firearms car got behind it quite quickly in the town.
Realising the cops are behind him, the driver takes to the wrong side of the road and heads straight through red traffic lights.
Permission to drive the vehicle, Tadcaster. Yes, vehicle is failing to stop.
People are getting up for work. It's 6:30 in the morning. It's not unreasonable to think there'll be paper boys out and about, people getting ready for school, so the stakes are going to be higher. You have to really concentrate on what you're doing and think to yourself, you know, is it correct to carry on?
Pursuing illegal drivers on the road is one of the main responsibilities of the traffic cops. But when criminals refuse to stop, the cops are forced to make a judgment call.
Any police pursuit is inherently dangerous.
I think the public understand there's a need to catch people that are doing these sort of things, but they also see the bad press about when it goes wrong. Accidents happen.
Over the last decade, there's been an average of 20 fatalities every year during police pursuits.
Each one is very different, and each one has to be married up with a lot of different circumstances and thought processes to whether it's safe to continue.
We're not the ones who initiate a pursuit, it's the reaction of that car in front of us. They made the decision to fail to stop.
A decision either way could mean the difference between someone's life or death. And that's as serious as this job gets. Yes, you damage a police car, yes, you damage that car, but ultimately you've saved people's lives.
Back on the outskirts of Tadcaster, officers continue to pursue the stolen blue Peugeot, and the thieves' desperation becomes evident.
Speed 90, laptops out of vehicle.
Heading out of town, the car thieves narrowly avoid a truck coming the other way.
Straight away that puts the stakes up in what they're doing. It shows the mentality and it shows that, you know, they want to get away at all costs.
Speed now 70. Continue to throw things out of the vehicle.
As the thieves head towards the borders between North and West Yorkshire, the cops plan to stop them using a stinger, a spiked tyre shredder. The stinger has been deployed across the road ahead. But the thieves spot the officers.
He's obviously thought, I hope I'm not going to get away with this. He's then gone up the embankment to get round the stinger. It's not disabled him, and he's still managed to carry on.
Yeah, contact made again, it's got round the stinger, it's to 164.
Up ahead, a third cop car joins the pursuit to help surround the Peugeot and bring it to a halt.
I'm going to freeze him down the A1 if I can, down the A1.
Now timing is critical.
So I'm up in front of him, blue light's illuminated on the car, and I'm trying to feed him down the A1. But he clearly wasn't having that.
Yeah, contact me with me, get him all around, box all around about. Bye-bye.
When he swiped the car, I was really annoyed. Primarily because obviously he's shown his intentions where he wants to go, but secondly, you know, he's damaged my police vehicle, and it's a car I use all the time.
Determined not to let the suspects escape, the cops make deliberate contact, forcing the stolen car out of control.
He's managed to slam on his brakes again to try and disable the firearms car that was behind him, and in doing so, he's made a hash of it. He's spun him off the road and into a lamppost.
Checks on the driver and passenger confirm they're not locals.
One guy actually lived in Leeds itself, so he's travelled all the way from Leeds in West Yorkshire through North Yorkshire to Kexby, which is right on the border with Humberside. He's a career criminal, so we are an occupational hazard to him. That's all he's done. He's 40-year-old, and he's still out stealing cars.
Later at the police station, the men were linked to a spate of burglaries throughout the night.
This is either the 5th or the 6th car they've stolen that night. They've been clearly grafting all night long. And obviously pushed the boundaries too far, trying to burgle somebody's house at 6:15 in the morning when they got caught out by somebody getting up for work. It's just greed or stupidity, I don't know.
No matter how much the cops keep safety in mind, some pursuits do end in accidents. On the outskirts of York, it's 2 p.m.
Hello.
Sergeant Julian Pearson receives a radio message about a suspected shoplifter on the run who crashed when she tried to escape from the pursuing cops.
It looks like a vehicle's tried to make off from a local unit, crashed in the roundabout. In relation to injuries, not sure.
Tempo, I'll bob down. We're going to a car that's made off from police, and the vehicle's continued to drive erratically. He's lost control on a roundabout, crashed and rolled the car.
Because North Yorkshire cops were chasing the vehicle, it's Julian's job to make sure the correct rules of engagement were followed during the pursuit.
I'm going to attend because technically it's a police county vehicle, and as such a sergeant should attend the scene and see if there's any, make sure everything's been done correctly. I'll see what the injuries are when we get there, and are we a contributing factor to the crash. Now we've obviously got congestion on the bypass as a result of the collision.
As the lead officer on the scene,
Hi, you're right.
Julian's priority is the injured driver, even though she tried to escape from the police.
Across at speed, no other vehicles involved, so it hit the middle of the road.
Trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what's going to be happening from a police point of view? The priority is to get you to hospital. We ascertain who you are. We will deal with the collision, and then at some point, once you've been treated and you're released, we'll be in contact with you and speak in relation to what's happened and how you came to crash. But the priority is to get you treated.
Regardless of what she's done, she needs to be medically assessed. We need to open up the road network as quickly as we can to stop annoying members of the public, but equally gather the evidence without losing anything.
With an air ambulance on the way to help the driver, Julian's next job is to find out the sequence of events leading up to the crash.
OK, so what's the member of the public said to you?
Basically, I've spoken to 3 or 4.
Witness statements suggest that the suspect was driving erratically.
Initial witnesses said, and she's just in haste, absolute haste to get away from the police.
Julian quickly identifies physical evidence of what has happened.
She's come up here at speed, hasn't she? Clipped that. Here, that's her alloy wheel going up the side of the roundabout. And then you've got the 2 gouge marks in the carriageway where the car's then turned over and then rolled again. You've got a first tipping point here. These marks here will be as the vehicle's rotating. Then you've got a flip mark there. And the marks you've got there on the road surface will be consistent with... That'll be consistent with those as the car's then tipped over and rolled.
She's overtaken members of the public on the wrong side of the carriageway. So it's just straight up bad driving, really.
The question now is, were the cops in pursuit in any way to blame for the accident? If a chase becomes too dangerous, the protocol is to pull back.
We've been behind her, blue lights on.
Yeah.
She's known we've been behind her. She's failed to stop.
Yeah.
She's continued on. We've backed off, lights off,
Yeah.
sirens off, backed off. She's headed towards this roundabout. As we approach the roundabout, at that point we found it like this.
He's done the right thing. The vehicle's come out, he's asked her to stop, she hasn't stopped, and the collision has occurred as a result of her own actions, and he was nowhere near at the point of the collision.
Satisfied the pursuing cops were in no way to blame for the accident, Julian oversees the safe landing of an air ambulance.
The bypass is closed. Got to put the air ambulance down, so we have to close the road and to make it safe for everybody.
But before it can land, the helicopter is called to another, more urgent incident, leaving Julian with an injured suspect he needs to get to hospital.
Are they coming from Chipton Road? Harrogate.
With an ambulance 16 miles away, Julian turns his attentions back to the driver and the contents of her boot.
I'm just looking what's in the vehicle, basically.
It's not clear if the bags are stolen, but he has found something suspicious.
A detagger. When you go into a shop to buy something, that's what they use to take the security devices off the clothing. So she's obviously got that from somewhere.
We need to be able to get the evidence together to be able to categorically pin those offences on her, to be able to charge her with that.
Finally, an ambulance arrives.
Well, as soon as she's out, we'll move it, sweep the carriageway.
The woman's been lucky. Her injuries aren't serious.
What she should have done was stop. Had she stopped, she could have explained why she had goods in the back of the car and the matter could have been dealt with. As it is, she's now written her car off, cost the taxpayer a fortune in the emergency services attending. We've had an air ambulance that couldn't land. We've got numerous cars here dealing with the actual collision. All for what?
557.
Ridiculous.
New information about the driver comes to light. She's a provisional licence holder and shouldn't be driving unsupervised.
Because she's lied to her insurance company to obtain insurance and told them that she's a full licence holder. So they will pay for the damage to any roadside furniture or third party, but as far as her car is concerned, they won't touch it.
Lovely, thank you ever so much.
With the offences mounting up, the suspect has a lot of explaining to do. Pursuing criminals on the run is made even more difficult at night, especially on dark country roads. On the southern borders of the county near Selby, Julian is crewed with Traffic Constable Lee Cobb on night patrol when they're contacted by a local officer.
Generally, if I open my mouth.
Can you make sense though?
No, not.
Don't push your luck.
The cops' banter soon turns serious when there's a report of 2 disqualified drivers in a car, also referred to by traffic cops as dizzy drivers.
The vehicle here, it's on the driveway, and the 2 occupants, they're both dizzy drivers.
Checks made by local police identify them as disqualified, but because the car is parked, there's no grounds to arrest them, unless they drive off.
Busy driver time, that's what we need. So what address is that, mate?
Yeah, it's currently on the driveway of Grange Road.
Lee thinks they may chance their luck and drive off.
They actually live maybe 15 miles away from where the car is. It's now just 2 degrees, it's actually quite cold. They've said they're going to walk home. If I'm a betting man, I would say they're not going to walk home. They're just going to hang fire around the corner, wait till the bobbies leave, and then probably come back and get the car. I certainly wouldn't walk home in this weather.
As the local officers are not able to pursue, traffic cops Lee and Julian head over to keep watch on the dizzy drivers.
No, you try and get as close to the address as possible, see if it moves, see it move off the drive.
They also have the advantage that they're in an unmarked car.
This should be Grange. And there's the Golf on the driveway. So if we get into Prospect Close on the right, try and stick somewhere out the way. Right, we're here, mate. We're going to kill our car and just sit and listen with windows down. See if we can hear it start up.
With the trap set, it's now a waiting game for Lee and Julian to see if the men make off in the car.
It's the old phrase, give them a little bit of rope and they'll have to hang themselves.
Here we have two individuals in a car. The likelihood of them driving is high. If I wasn't to sit there and wait for them to drive, then I wouldn't be doing my job. We would do this routinely for drink drivers or disqualified drivers. You know, sit and wait. You know, I think members of the public or people like that we're looking at work on the basis that we get bored after 20 minutes and then we'll leave. But certain people are worth waiting for.
Just having the patience to sit here and wait. If it is quiet and nothing's happening, by the sheer nature of you being sat there in a warm car, you know, you may start nodding off. Good.
Their patience pays off. The car is on the move.
Oh, that golf's moving, I'm going to have to go. Here we are. Yeah, this golf we're looking for down the bottom end has moved off. It's Brig Lane. For information, we are double crewed, two-back train vehicle. It's at right, up to 645 Link Road. It's not going to stop, is it?
Even though they're in an unmarked car, it's not long before Lee and Julian suspect the driver has spotted them.
I think he twigged pretty quickly who we were. Straight away, he's shown his intention with the speed he went round the roundabout.
As his speed increases, Lee and Julian switch on their blue lights.
They see a blue light and it's a nanosecond decision, stop or go.
Yeah, he's failing to stop. Speed 60, going into Carlton. It's 2 up.
Julian tries to get in front and attempts to slow the driver down.
I've overtaken him to steer him into a trap and he's decided to handbrake it behind me and go the other way.
Yeah, he's done a U-turn. He's done a U-turn from Carlton. We're heading back towards Camblesworth roundabout. What the units have got available, please consider our support.
The U-turn leaves the cops under pressure to catch up or risk losing them altogether. 50 miles away, near Scarborough.
Yes, understood.
Traffic cop Mark Ganella is also playing catch-up as he responds to a report of a suspected burglar on the move.
It's on the A64 on the Bolton westbound.
One of my colleagues called up who was at Moulton, so some 22 miles ahead of me, to say that she was actually behind the suspect's vehicle.
Yes, can you just stay behind it? Make no attempt to stop it at this time, but if you can just keep eyeball on it for me.
We have got a marked police vehicle behind it, however it's not a traffic vehicle, so it's not allowed to pursue it.
Mark needs to get there fast and take over before the driver realises he's being tailed.
Your adrenaline level is up, but you're also thinking the last thing I want to do is crash, is hit somebody else's car or just damage my own car.
The reported theft is of property stolen from a Scarborough guest house.
Can we also confirm whether they're known to the complainant?
The suspect was a guest. They have stayed there before, but they're not known personally.
That's understood, thank you. Got the subject vehicle directly ahead of me on the near side lane. I've turned my blue lights off. I will wait for an additional resource to get behind me.
Traffic cop Martin Hayes is also responding to the call to help Mark stop the vehicle.
Just dropping in behind 851.
Can you hold lane 2? Hold lane 2.
To stop anything coming past?
Lane 2 held.
So we're not allowing anything to go past us. It's just giving us a bit of a sterile area to work in that when I get the opportunity to stop it, I'm hoping that the driver's just going to pull over. It's a near side indication from the subject vehicle. Stop.
In this situation, it indicated and pulled over, no problem at all.
Hiya, mate. All right, how are you doing? All right, okay. I believe that you've just stolen some property. No. All right. Do you want to just unlock the door for me? I'm TC Ganella, all right? And I believe you've got some stolen property in it. Be fair with me and be honest.
No, I did not.
Right, okay.
Mark is treating this as a burglary, despite what the driver says.
Just open the door for me then. I'm not going to start the engine. You open the door for me. Just open the door. Brilliant. And just take your seatbelt off for me. All right, you're under arrest. All right, on suspicion of theft. All right. Just put your hands out for us. Just put your hands out. Don't be silly. Jump yourself out, my friend.
As Mark talks to the suspect, he begins to have concerns about his behaviour.
Mind your head.
It became clear to me very quickly that there were maybe some issues with the gentleman, with maybe his health or his understanding. To me, he seemed quite confused, quite dazed.
Just walk this way for me. I don't want you in the carriageway.
Well, let me have a cigarette.
All right. Whoa. Just come over here. Yeah. Just come over here. I'll let you have a tab, but come and stand here. All right? You're under arrest on suspicion of theft. Yeah. I'm going to caution you that you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court.
While the driver is kept under control, in the boot, the cops find a TV, one of the items reported stolen. The driver now has some explaining to do.
I've got to speak to the other people involved, but at the moment, the information...
If it's being stolen or it's being bought, or it's being bought, or it's being stolen, or it's being taken, they're different things, aren't they? Yes, they are. They are different things. Yes, they are.
Hey, that's why you're under arrest, and that's why we've got to talk about it. Do you understand that? Yeah.
It may be legitimate. It may be that he has actually bought a telly. It may be that someone else has been in the room and taken the telly.
Even though the man is still insisting the TV is not stolen,
you're all right there. Mind your head, mate.
He's going to be taken to the police station in York while the cops continue to investigate the allegation. On the southern borders of the county, traffic cops Julian and Lee are still trying to catch up with the dizzy drivers who failed to stop for them.
It is unmarked, but it is fitted with lights and sirens. What are the units you've got available, please? Consider our support. There's 2 IC1 males. The driver appears to be quite short, shaven head, big ears, and a dark-coloured top. Speed's currently 50. The roads are dry, the road traffic is light.
No other units are in the area, so I can get towards you.
Yes, no deviation. Speed 70 on the 1041 towards the 63 bypass. Yeah, he's straddling the offside of the carriageway. He's now over the centre white line. Speed currently 80.
The runaway's extraordinary risk-taking becomes a real concern.
Yeah, he's the wrong side of the bollards, approaching the roundabout. Speed 70. Hang on. He's looking at. No. When he's taking his chance going the complete wrong side of the roundabout, I cringed, because you can't see what's coming. And if there's somebody coming the other way, it would have had a head-on, and that speed, that would cause some serious damage. We are continuing A19 north towards York.
The roads may be quiet, but they're not empty.
Cyclist, sorry. Pursuit roundabout at Balby. Stand by, taking the first into Balby, and he's taking the first right, which is Howden Road.
After a 10-minute pursuit, the dizzy driver makes a last-ditch attempt to escape from the cops.
Pinder's Way, mate, Pinder's Way, it's a dead end. He's then gone through the cul-de-sac at horrendous speeds. At one point he'd actually got 2 wheels on the road because he'd hit a speed bump. He's in Pinder's Way, stand by for decamp. Yep, over the speed bumps, he's going to have to decamp, he's in a dead end. I'm having him.
Lee gives chase to the driver who set off on foot.
Okay, we're through Gardens, Pinder's Way through Gardens.
Julian tackles the passenger.
You're under arrest, get out! Out!
Are you stupid? Oh, you're dragging not
out! Touch me, out! Hands behind your back.
Oh, yeah, hands behind your back.
Hands behind your back.
Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
Other hand behind your back.
He was very anti-police. He was very in your face, very aggressive.
Faggot. Big idiot.
The passenger is taken in for further questioning.
Please run through the garden there.
But the driver has run away.
He's got to the end of the cul-de-sac, pulled a handbrake on and turned round to face the driver's door away from us to give him the edge to get out and leg it.
Finding him in the pitch black is not going to be easy, and Lee and Julian are going to need support to find him. At the police station in York, The suspect arrested for the theft of the television is being checked in.
So you can have a coffee on it, yeah?
We'll get you a coffee.
You can't have another cigarette?
You can't.
The cops have concerns about the man's behaviour.
Are you suffering any mental health problems or depression? Got bipolar? Anything else?
The decision in custody was to get him assessed. So we have what's called a medax nurse, a trained nurse, on duty in the police station that would make that assessment for us. It starts to build a picture of the people you're dealing with, and that may then have an effect on how you continue to deal with them. Does he understand what we're saying and why we're asking questions?
3 sugars. All right. We'll get you sorted in a second, mate.
With the suspected thief in his cell waiting for a medical assessment, Mark makes some further inquiries.
We did some checks on the movements of that vehicle, and although they were on holiday in North Yorkshire, it appeared that they were going back most days back to their home address to feed the cats. Bizarre.
Driving home regularly during a holiday in Scarborough may be unusual, but it's not proof of criminal activity. However, checks on the suspect's car reveal he shouldn't be on the road. He's a disqualified driver.
So at the moment for him, he was driving and he's got a revoked licence. Can you also do me a vehicle check? Because I just want to make sure he's shown on the insurance for the vehicle. So he's not on the insurance either. Cheers, bye-bye. Right. His licence was revoked on the 22nd of May 2010, and it was revoked under medical grounds.
When a licence is revoked for medical grounds, the driver must get the all clear from a doctor before he's fit to get back behind a wheel.
It's just that horrible feeling, isn't it? He's driving a nice, newish car down the A64, lots of traffic on the road. Yeah, it's a sinking feeling when you find people that do this.
There's your coffee. 3 sugars.
Right now, the cell is the safest place for the suspect, keeping him off the roads.
So we'll get things sorted for you.
11 miles away, traffic cop Lee Cobb is still searching for the disqualified driver he chased down a dead end in the village of Barlby.
The driver's out and legging it, so I followed him into a garden. I've just caught his toes.
The thing one's outstanding, yeah. Big ears. Is that the one lad you were with?
No damage.
You never know if he's going to be hiding around the corner to clout you on as you walk around, so you have to be wary.
Yeah, it was literally this gate. He was over the top, jumped over the fence.
That, unfortunately, was the last time I saw him.
I think he's gone to ground in one of the gardens nearby. Supposedly, or usually they hide in the gardens.
I'm still dropping. Do you want me to cancel? I'm just rushing down the tape.
A search dog is called in to help look for the suspect.
The dog can never have a sniff around and see if it picks anything up. My last sight of him was here, and he's gone over a small gate there which was locked, and he's gone towards the lattered fence, and that was the last time I saw his backside. So mid-20s, scrawny thing, shaven head, big ears, grey top.
Right.
It would be nice to catch him while he's out in here, freezing his backside off like we are trying to find him. At least the birds are happy, chirping away. So he thinks in his mind, if he gets away, then he's not going to be caught and not going to come to court over it. He's sadly mistaken.
But after half an hour, the dogs draw a blank too.
Somewhat disappointing. Even the pooch didn't find him. No joy. No joy. Oh well, I need to lose a couple of stone after all.
But Lee is still hopeful, as he suspects the driver isn't local and other units are searching for him.
He was lost, in fact, so he's trying to get his way back out the village to get to familiar ground.
As the police impound the car, a lead comes through.
Yeah,
Just getting a call in.
Stand by.
Male in a grey jacket.
Yep.
A man fitting the description has been reported just half a mile away, asking a member of the public for directions. Julian sets off to find the driver.
So it's just now an area search to try and locate him again.
To catch a criminal, you've got to think like a criminal. You've got to think, right, what would I, if I was this particular individual, what would I do?
If he's going to do anything, he's going to walk out onto the A19.
The suspect's registered home address is in Campbellsforth, and that's 7 miles away.
Clearly, he has no idea where he is, which gives us an advantage.
Also helping Julian is the cold weather. Temperatures tonight are just above freezing, and the driver's been on the run for over an hour.
I don't think he's dressed for this weather, so he's going to want to get wherever he's going as quickly as he can. It's just a waiting game.
Then Julian spots someone.
Come here. Where are you going?
Back home.
Sorry?
Back home.
Where are you from?
Campbellsforth.
He wants to get to Campbellsforth. So, you know straight away, it's the right guy, it's definitely him.
Well, what are you doing in Campbellsforth?
Got to see my girlfriend.
And what's she called?
Laura.
I've got to pretend to him that I don't know him. And whilst I'm doing that, seatbelt's undone, I'm in a better position to get out of the car.
Have you got any ID on you?
No, mate.
Let's have a look. You're under arrest for dangerous driving, failed to stop for police.
What?
557XN.
Danger. What do you get our camera?
Hey, face. Can I have a unit to Highfield View?
You're under arrest for dangerous. For what? For
Sorry?
what?
Failing to stop dangerous driving.
You start squeezing my hand.
No, because you're not going anywhere.
What? I didn't say we're going anywhere, did I? Did I try and go anywhere?
I'm not saying you have.
Tell your evidence to this camera.
Do you understand that?
Tell your evidence
to the camera. Do you understand you're under arrest?
How do I understand that I'm under arrest?
I just told you. You're under arrest.
For what?
For dangerous driving, disqualified driving and failing to stop for police.
On what?
I'm behind your back.
I think he honestly thought that A, I'd not been chasing him, or Lee and I had not been chasing him, and he could bluff us and get away.
I'm on Balby Road with Highfield View. If you can get me a van down here, please.
Yep, sorting it.
What's your evidence like?
I've told you.
You don't need to. You're arresting me with no evidence.
I've just told you you're under arrest, right? That's all you need to know. I've told you why you've been arrested. Right. That's all you need to know, all right? Yeah. There is no other questions, is there? Yeah. Right.
With the runaway driver apprehended by Julian, Lee missed his chance to do the honours and arrest the suspect.
It would have been nice if I'd have got hold of him, having given it legs. I was frustrated, it wasn't me, obviously. But at the end of the day, he's in bracelets and he's on his way to custody.
In Scarborough, Mark visits the owner of the guest house who reported her property stolen.
They'd actually booked in for 3 weeks and paid for 2 weeks, but they left on the 8th day.
Right, so left early, but obviously with your property, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The lady may have had her property returned, but after a detailed medical assessment, the police have decided not to pursue charges against the suspect, and Mark has to explain to the victim why no prosecution will follow for the theft.
To be fair, they may not have even understood what they've done, do you know what I mean? It may be something that they've done, they don't realise they've actually done it, and in his mind, the account that he gave us, that may be exactly what he's thinking's taken place. You don't know, and unfortunately I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it.
It's just unfortunate they've done something like that and for nothing really, for a TV and a blanket and a couple of hands.
I mean, we can't justify what they've done or why they've done it. It's the plus for me and the positive for me is that they've done something wrong, we've caught them, we've got your property back, which is the main goal for us. No two jobs we deal with are the same, and you have to look at this and say, what was the outcome? We've achieved what we wanted as the police for the victim, and I think we've also done more for the people involved in it as well.
When they're not chasing criminals, the traffic cops' top priority is to investigate road accidents. In 2014, they dealt with more than 1,600 collisions, some of the highest crash statistics in the UK.
It can fluctuate through the year, it can fluctuate on the weather, on how busy the roads are, obviously. I probably deal with 1 a day, I would say, when I'm working, on average. Some days I can be unlucky and pick 2 or 3 up.
And even though he's been a traffic cop for 8 years, picking up the pieces isn't always plain sailing for former submariner Mark Mullins.
It can be quite upsetting, you know, and I'm getting quite on in my years now, and I think I've seen most things, but it can be quite distressing, dealing with, you know, with death particularly.
On the outskirts of Harrogate, it's 9:30 a.m. and Mark and his sergeant Paul Cording have been called to what turns out to be a rather unusual smash.
The York Place Junction Queen's Parade, 2-vehicle RTC, roads partially blocked.
Yes, I'm forward attendant. We were told it was a 2-vehicle road traffic collision. There was an injury. One of the vehicles was on the Stray, which is a large expanse of grassy area in the middle of Harrogate.
Oh no, it's over there.
Is that one there then? How's that lot there? We were surprised on the approach when we saw a car in the middle of the Stray. It was a good 100-150 metres off the road, and it was like, how's that got there? Especially because it's a 30-mile-an-hour road.
Stay 6 to the RTC.
God, I'll tell you what, it's impressive.
Good.
So you were only passenger, are you?
Yeah.
I'll just get your details, all right?
Mark finds an injured taxi driver who's been carrying a fare to work.
Pulled straight out, right in front
Of the side of the out of its drive?
Yeah, this drive.
Which car, the one that they're with?
Yeah. Pulled straight out in front of us. So I don't know if he hit the car. I can't remember if there was a bang, but he swerved. It all happened really fast. He swerved, you see. He missed the tree, 2 trees, literally by centimetres. And he carried on. He couldn't stop, you know, just because of the speed. It just.
Okay.
So
He's driving all right?
He picks him up every morning.
Right.
He's really careful, driver.
By swerving off the road, the taxi driver has clearly avoided a much more serious accident, but at the expense of a neck injury. Luckily, paramedics are on the scene.
I spoke to your passenger, she's told me what's happened, okay. Are you all right for me to give me a specimen of breath on a breath machine? Now, man, a good deep breath and just a nice steady blow. You don't need to blow too hard. I appreciate you've got a neck injury, all right. Just a nice steady blow, it's quite sensitive. Good deep breath. All the people involved who are driving vehicles will be breath tested. The police can request a specimen of breath and we do it routinely. Lovely, thank you.
The breath test is negative, so the priority now is to get him to hospital.
Nothing that we were particularly concerned about, but it's standard practice now that if they say that either the neck or the back is sore or hurting, they will get them onto a board.
With the taxi driver in the care of paramedics, Paul updates Mark on testimony from another witness.
I've got a first account from a witness who's basically said that this car was travelling normal road speed towards Empress Roundabout. He's been behind and then this lady's just pulled out.
Just anybody else coming up?
Mark goes to speak to the lady driver who's alleged to have caused the accident.
There's a few things we need to do. One, I need to breathalyse you. It's a requirement in the UK that if you've been involved in a road traffic collision, then I've got the power to request a breath sample, which I'm sure won't be an issue. It's no to panic about. Are you all right to give me a specimen of breath?
Yeah.
Yeah, OK. Right, Candice, all I need to do is get a good seal around the end of that, good deep breath, and a nice steady blow. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep... Lovely, thank you. And that's 0, as expected. Do you have any questions for me now?
No, but is he okay?
He's fine, he's been chatting. I say it looks bad when he's on a stretcher, and he'll be fine, I'm sure.
We did talk to him. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, well, I'll see him later. I mean, I'm sure he knows it's not deliberate, but don't lose any sleep about it, all right? It's a shock to the system, and there's also the reality, which is alluded to there, that she was at fault for it. And I think the lot together can be quite overwhelming. Are you going to work today?
I think so.
Yeah.
I just need to drink some water. I'll be fine.
Have a cup of tea, that's what we do.
The lady's mistake is a common statistic. 1 in 3 accidents happen within a mile of home. In her case, within 10 metres.
I do believe that this was my fault, and I think this is my first accident that is my fault, and I just feel bad for the other driver. I am happy that he's okay. So, no, it's always scary. It's always a shock. And I guess that's why they call it accidents. They happen.
I don't accept that just happens. It's normally down just to her. It's just unfortunate that it's happened to her. It's about keeping your wits about you, because not every day is the same. It might seem the same journey, but people who you're sharing the roadway will react differently to you as you will to them on a daily basis. Concentration's all the time when you're driving, and we all make mistakes.
And for the passenger from the taxi, the experience has come as a major shock.
I was absolutely petrified because all I could see was the tree. You know, and you missed it by less than a foot. I think God must have been shining down on us both. Still carry on using the company, but yeah, I think I'll avoid them for a week. Taxis.
Mark decides to report the American lady for driving without due care and attention. And despite the taxi driver's actions meaning the accident wasn't more serious, the incident has drawn the cops' attention to his car.
We had a cursory look at both vehicles after collision earlier. We thought the tyres on this vehicle, which is actually the innocent party in it, looked a bit worn.
Mark, just to let you know, your taxi fare is now £56.20.
What we're going to do is we're going to photograph them. They are quite worn, legal limit being 1.6, and you can see that's 1.08, so it's well under. I could see that he'll think, well, I've been the innocent party in this as a result of somebody pulling out in front of me taking evasive action. I'm now being investigated by the police. However, he is driving a car on a road, he's got a fare-paying passenger on board, and he's responsible for her safety, and he's got tyres that are well below the legal limit. So I will separate him into two, and he might feel a sense of injustice, and in a way I can see where he's coming from, but unfortunately he's clearly breaking the law.
With an area spanning 3,200 square miles, in North Yorkshire, police resources are often stretched. And it's not just motoring offences that the traffic cops have to deal with. In Scarborough, it's lunchtime, and TC Mark Ganella is back on patrol.
My primary role when I go out is to look at traffic, to deal with travelling criminals, to deal with issues that are on the road. However, you've always got to listen to the radios and you've got to attend to member of public wanting assistance.
A PSG's thrown a bag of his property out of the window, which is when he's started kicking the panel out the back door.
It's a report of a domestic disturbance.
Yeah, I will back up. You just give us some directions in, please.
It's not a typical traffic cop incident, but Mark's the nearest police officer to the location.
Yeah, I'm going State 6. Give us the number again. Was it number 9?
At that point in time, I don't know why he's trying to get into that house. Is he trying to hurt the occupant? Is he trying to steal from the property?
The lady who phoned in has reportedly taken refuge in a neighbour's house.
Hello, did you call us, did you? Are you all right?
The lady tells Mark that the house she owns nearby was visited by her ex-boyfriend, who kicked the back door in.
We're not sure still whether he's sat in there in the property or he's left it.
The last thing that I want to do is to be going into a property by myself and maybe confronted by someone who's violent. At least if there's two of you, you've got that advantage.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right. Hello. Hello.
Alfie. Is that back
Crikey.
here?
All right. Are they all right with us, are they? Liam!
Oh my God.
All right, just stay there a second, Duke.
Oh my God, I've never done that.
Liam, it's the police!
Nobody deserves to be that frightened that they've got to actually leave their house and allow someone to be inside it, smashing it to bits.
This blood here, will that be yours or will this be the...
It's not mine, no. I haven't even done anything to him.
All right, where are you? We're just making sure everything's all right. He's not... We can't find him anywhere. Do you want to come and sit? Come and have a sit in here first.
He's put the back door in. There's glass everywhere. It looks like absolute rage.
It seems that a relationship breakdown sparked the incident.
All I heard is bang, bang, bang. Give me my stuff, answer the door. I says, no, I'm not opening the door. I'm not opening the door. And then I just heard the back door booting through. So I shut that door and quickly went out the front door, went to the old...
Right. And that's when you phoned us?
Went to the old fellas next door and luckily he took me in.
She's clearly upset, you know. Do you expect your house to get trashed? Do you expect your telly to be broken? No. You know, she's done the right thing. She's got out. She's protected herself.
You always think you can sort of change someone and...
Julie, we're going to go and have a look for him, all right? He can't think that he can get away with it, all right? We're going to get your door sorted, haven't we, so that you're safe with the sense that we can lock that and we'll go and find him, all right, and we'll deal with him. No. I'll leave you with my friend who's just out here somewhere.
Part of me wants to stay with her, part of me wants to talk to her, but you know that you've got to be in there and trying to find this guy. What other damage is he going to cause? Who else might he threaten?
With the property secure and a list of potential hiding places, it's now down to Mark to find the man and get him into custody. Preventing injuries on and off North Yorkshire's roads is all part of the traffic cop's role, and TCs like Lee Cobb are always on the lookout for motorists posing a threat to others.
The sheer nature of the job we do being a traffic cop, unfortunately, you'll stop people who don't want to have anything to do with the police, want to live their lives how they want, and don't really have any respect for rules and regulations.
While patrolling the village of Sherburn in Elmet, on the southern border of the county, Lee spots someone breaking the rules of the road.
Let's have a look at that. Get round. Just driving down Moor Lane, one of the roads in Sherburn. Car coming towards me, chatting away on his mobile phone, and pull up behind him at the traffic lights.
Just put it down by his right-hand side as we approached him. So now he's going to do the old let me shuffle round and see what I'm doing scenario, so he doesn't think I've seen him. Along.
Lee's not fooled by the man's antics.
On his mobile phone and had no seatbelt on.
Over 500,000 people in the UK now have points on their licence after being caught driving whilst using a mobile phone.
I think it's just a sign of the times. You see it now, you're walking down the street, there's people glued to the mobile phone, playing Candy Crush, or texting each other, and it just seems like an obsession now. I've been a traffic cop now over 6 years. I've dealt with a couple of fatalities on the road, which are a direct result of somebody being on the phone. They're a nightmare.
The reason I want to speak to you, when you come past me, you're chatting away on your mobile phone.
Phone's there, mate.
Right, you can look.
I have been holding my ear.
Right,
I've got ear
I'm
infection.
not going to go down the lines of I was holding my ear. No, you're chatting on your mobile phone.
Right.
The number of times I hear I was just scratching my ear.
You got video
right,
evidence?
do you want to calm down a minute?
I'm not getting mad,
Right.
but you're not going to tell me I'm on the phone with the lights when I want.
Right, you were driving whilst using your mobile phone, and you didn't have your seatbelt on, because when you sat at the traffic lights, you were shuffling about putting it on.
I got the sweets. There's the wrapper.
Right.
I put the wrapper
Right.
in there, and I put the sweets in there, and I have my seatbelt on all the time.
Okay.
I drive for a living.
Right.
I can't afford to have
Well,
points
you
on my
should know
license.
better then, shouldn't you? I've never met the man, I've got no grudges against him. I'm literally stopping him from what I've seen him doing, and that's it. They're just trying to discredit what you've said and what you've seen, and making you out to be a liar, basically, which it really annoys me.
Okay, you're on your phone as you come past. I've turned around, you're still on your phone at the traffic lights?
No.
All right?
Sorry, mate. No.
Okay. You also decided to put your seatbelt on when you stopped at the traffic lights.
That's wrong as well.
Right, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to deal with you by means of fixed penalty notice.
So you do realise this loses my job, don't you?
You do realise you were on the phone.
I am conscious when you're dealing with people that the nature of what I do does have an impact on their life, and that could have a massive impact on their jobs. And it's all things people need to think about when they're driving down the road, gassing away on the phone.
You're trying to say that I've not got a seatbelt on. You're trying to say I was still on the phone when you were behind me, which I wasn't.
Right.
I was getting sweets out of my pocket, which you saw me eating. I showed you the sweets in my pocket.
Right.
The phone is on the other side of the car.
Yeah. Generally, if people want to rabbit on, they will ultimately drop themselves in it at some point.
And I'm sorry, there was no way I was on my phone at the traffic lights.
At what point did you put the phone down then if you weren't on the phone at the traffic lights?
Oh, all right then, hold my hands up. I did have, when you went past me, I seen the camera on the phone and I thought, bam, wrong, my fault, yeah?
So,
but you're trying to say I was still on
right.
the phone at the thing. Okay. Is that just to catch me out so I say, yeah, I was on the phone?
No, not at all.
I don't use tactics like that to try and drag information out of people. I've told him what I've seen, it's simple as that. I've already made a decision that he's going to get a ticket. He can deny it, he can put his hands up to it, that's his choice. He's going to get a ticket regardless.
I've never been caught on my phone before.
Well, there you go then. Yeah, you've never been caught before.
No, I've never been caught on my phone before because I don't normally do it.
All right, that's yours. I think we're done then, aren't we? All right. What a load of tosh.
1 month later, the man paid his £100 fine and received 3 points on his licence. Back in Scarborough, Mark Ganella is on the hunt for a suspect who broke down the door of his ex-girlfriend's house.
I've put out observations, so other officers are aware that we're looking for this guy and a description of what he's wearing. Now it's just a thing of trying to locate him. If you saw in the house, there's a fair bit of blood dotted around, so I'm thinking that he's most probably injured himself whilst causing that damage. So we've just got to make sure that he's not too badly hurt.
Mark believes he may be at a nearby address.
It's possible that he's headed back to that address, but we'll just travel along
the route that he would go back there, just in case he's still around, if he's walking around.
With extra backup still on the way, Mark goes in alone.
Some people don't want to get found. You know, there's nothing to say that he's not going to go out the back window. That's a chance I've got to take.
Hi, is Liam here?
Mark's in luck. The suspect's at the address.
Is he all right? Just put your hands out for us.
I quickly got the opportunity to handcuff him.
Now under arrest, the next challenge for Mark is taking the suspect in.
You've got to reason to a degree. You've got to try and make him understand that he hasn't got a choice. He's going to be coming with me. It can either be the easy way or it's going to be a difficult way where we're ending up fighting.
851, can you just make sure they make with a bit of haste?
And I always prefer the easy way.
Backup has arrived to help Mark escort the suspect safely to custody.
So what we'll do is we'll just take you to the van. All right, I'm just going to pat you down in the van just to make sure you ain't got anything on you. All right?
He was unpredictable, that was my worry. He was affected by, and I think it was more drink than anything else. But he was just that unpredictable person, that person that you've just got to be that much more careful with.
Liam! Liam! Don't be stupid!
Get in the van, come on.
Whoa, 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 whoa! He's not been searched. Right, well, you're not going to do that, are you? You've been reasonable. Liam, lift your legs up and get in there now. Just walk in there. He's got a lighter in his pocket.
Oh, that's it, mind your head.
Yeah. All right. You've got a lighter in there, which I'm not happy you having.
I've got to search him, so I've got to be that close, and you're putting yourself at risk. But you've got to do it.
Off! No!
Calm down, you've been all right with us.
Silly. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
What are you going to do? I want the lighter.
Face off in a minute, you little freak. I don't want someone trying to headbutt me. I come to work to do my day's work and go home. The last thing I want is to get injured.
Well, you've been spot on, Liam. All right,
spot on. Right. Look, chuck everything out, yeah?
Look,
just got to do your best to try and reduce any risk to me, my colleagues, and him.
You're right.
520, we've got him in the van.
All right, Liam, thank you.
With the suspect securely in the van and his lighter removed, Mark follows them back to the Scarborough station to book him in.
Switch yourself through the door, mate. All right.
Nearly 350 people come through these doors every month.
Just a domestic. Okay, but right. We'll try and get it sorted as quickly as we can, all right?
Maybe pull that off. You all right?
How are you feeling today?
Not so well, I don't really feel no way I feel
nothing. Okay.
He's just been up and down all the way through.
Mark is worried about the amount of alcohol the suspect may have consumed.
How much did you have to drink today, Liam?
A quarter of whiskey.
Quarter?
How long are we going to be here?
Well, it's my decision to make, and it depends on you, your behaviour, how quickly you sober up. Okay? If we think you're safe to come out and get interviewed, that's what we'll do. I don't want to keep you here any longer than I should do. Okay?
Because of the suspect's unpredictable behaviour, the cops need to take every precaution.
Because you got this. We have what's called safe suits, which is clothing that we can actually put him in and take his own clothing off. Therefore, we know that he's not going to be able to harm himself with his clothing.
Come this way with us, Liam, and we'll take those cuffs off and we'll get your clothes sorted. All right? Okay? We need to take that coat and stuff off you, don't we?
We're trying to reason to him and say, look, we're going to have to take your clothing, we're going to give you this other clothing to wear, and we'd like you to help us with it.
Do you want to just slip your T-shirt off for us?
No, I'm not going in that.
But you get... Well, well, don't... Okay? Liam. Liam.
I'm not getting in that.
Liam.
Liam, we need to take the clothes off, yeah? We would
No,
prefer
taking no
we'd
clothes
prefer
off
you
me.
to do that. We'll do it so you can take the top off and put the top on.
No, there's no chance.
Right,
I'm totally
Liam, it's got to be done.
No, it won't be done.
It's got to be done.
Well, maybe do it.
Well, come on. Come on. Liam.
It may look that we're being rough on him, but we're doing what we're doing for his own safety. We're having to resort to some sort of violence towards him to actually make his environment safe.
Liam, relax.
We train for these sort of scenarios, and we'll all play a slightly different role.
Can we just slide him slightly?
It's the role of a custody officer to monitor the safety of the suspect.
And keep making sure he's conscious and breathing, and make sure there's no sort of problem or concern about positional asphyxia, which is what happens when people are pinned down on the floor, especially people who are quite big build.
All right, don't worry about dressing. Don't let him do that. Let him.
After the suspect's volatile behaviour at his ex-partner's house, there's no doubt in Mark's mind that he's best off in a cell while he sobers up.
He's up.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You've got to remember that at the end of the day there's a victim. That victim has now got peace and quiet, and I can go back and tell them that I've called him and they're in a cell and we'll be dealing with them.
The burglars who stole the blue Peugeot were sentenced to a total of 7 years and 10 months imprisonment for dangerous driving, aggravated vehicle taking and burglary. The driver was also convicted of drink driving and driving whilst disqualified, and he was banned for 5 years. The driver who crashed her car in York after failing to stop for the police was convicted of dangerous driving and given a 14-week suspended prison sentence. There was no action taken against her for any theft offences. The disqualified driver of the car that failed to stop was charged with dangerous driving, driving whilst disqualified, failing to stop and no insurance. He was sentenced to 16 months imprisonment with 5 years disqualification. The passenger was fined £140 for obstructing the police. The man reported stealing property from a guest house was charged with driving without a licence and no insurance. He was given 6 points and fined £600. No further action was taken in relation to the TV theft. The lady driver who crashed into a taxi on the Stray in Harrogate was convicted of driving without due care and attention. She was fined £195 and given 4 penalty points. The taxi driver pleaded guilty to a defective tyre. He was given a £130 fine and 3 penalty points. And the man arrested for trashing his ex-girlfriend's house was found guilty of criminal damage and resisting arrest. He was sentenced to 4 weeks in prison.
Sean Locke's our first host tonight as we're live at the Apollo next on 3.